Okay, it happens to be Saturday afternoon, April the 13th. Wow, 2013.
April going very fast. Very fast.
Well, they all go fast, you know?
Careful.
Yeah, they all go fast. Well, you know what? Before I... Oh, crap. Yeah. I knew. See? I should have left it where it was.
You're not supposed to go banging around the tripod, eh?
Yeah, I ran into our camera person.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, camera
Joe.
person.
Sorry, Joe.
I think it's fine, but you know what? Let me get the formalities over with.
Ooh.
It's finally warming up after a cold, very cold
Interlude.
windy, rainy Friday. It was very chilly, you know, very like that icy cold rain. But you know, that's how April is. It's very volatile, and you can expect, yeah, you can expect just about anything in April.
Excuse me.
I know it's still tornado season in the Midwest in Tornado Alley.
Well, they said that they expected a lot more tornadoes than they got so far. So I don't know what that means.
That means that's why on the local news you haven't heard about any big twisters touching down in Middle America, in Oklahoma.
Well, there was one or two the other day.
Or Kansas, you know.
But I'm saying they usually have more at this particular time than they had so far.
Yeah.
So
Well, last year,
I don't know if that bodes
last
well for
year,
the future.
last year Texas got hammered. Right, that town in Texas got leveled. Remember that? Anyway, welcome, everyone. Welcome to Progressive Discussions. And yes, this is Progressive Discussions. I am your host, James P. Madonna of Megalife 21, and we are coming to you live and pre-recorded when you see this show from the Newsletter Censored Research Center in northeastern New Jersey. And let me formally pipe aboard our progressive liberal pirate ship, my great longtime co-host and mentor and founder of Newsletter Censored in 1977, the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman. With me bosun's whistle, or as one of our fans called it, the sailor whistle.
I think it's a bosun's pipe.
Yeah.
That's what.
Arr, matey.
Arr. We are aboard the ship.
Welcome aboard, Captain. How are you feeling this Saturday, sir?
I'm feeling very good.
Oh, man, what a fun guy. You know what I forgot? Because I'm so lethargic from the allergy medicine.
Oh, my
I didn't
God.
forget it. I have it, but I forgot to take it out. I forgot me Blackthorn Lucky Shillelagh.
Well, you won't need it anymore against Margaret Thatcher.
No, she's taking the big...
She's taking the big dirt sleep
big dirt sleep.
after destroying her country.
That crusty British version of Ayn Rand.
The Iron Lady.
Yeah, the iron, stingy, right-wing conservative lady who has
Cohort of Mr. Ronald Reagan.
That's right, and she was she has made some statements in the past concerning the poor and the common folk. I mean, she made a statement that I read that that conservatives pay their bills and liberals make other people pay their bills.
Well, I didn't. Well, and then how do you explain corporations getting subsidies? profitable corporations getting subsidies.
Well, it's
how do you explain that?
It's easy for like she put it, a good conservative that is responsible enough to pay all their bills. It's easy to pay all your bills when you got the big bucks socked away and your income is high from most likely ill-gotten gains.
Yeah, but what she means by that,
I mean, if you're part of the top, what, 30, 20,
30%.
30%, of course you can pay your bills.
But that's not what she's alluding to. She's alluding to the government paying social safety nets.
Yeah, because
that's what she's talking about. Or they're talking about.
Because the stingy, selfish, greedy rich do not want to pay any taxes.
That's correct.
They don't want to pay any taxes, and they don't care.
Well, they don't have to. They're living in gated communities. They got their own private police. They got their own private fire department. Why should they pay for the commons? For us common folk, and our schools, and our firemen, and our policemen. That's what they do.
Well, it's lack of compassion naturally, but
no, it's another world.
But also, isn't it the commons that vote for these Republicans to get them in office?
Well, yeah.
Isn't it the commons that make up the consumers that buy their products made by their corporations?
Well, isn't it also the log cabin Republicans who vote Republican? And the Republicans don't like gays. And they don't like gay marriage.
They don't like
They put it out there right on their platforms and etc. But do the log cabin Republicans get it?
They don't like anybody who doesn't fit their mold, their cultist, unproven theology mold.
But my point is that even so, the people they don't like support them. That's my point.
The lemmings.
Whatever they are. The idiots.
Fools. Idiots. Now, well, it's so ridiculous because it's common knowledge what Republicans stand for. So
they make no bones about it.
For these morons, I have to call them morons, political morons, because for these people to support a party, a candidate that does not have their best interests at heart at all, it's just crazy.
It certainly is, Ollie.
Doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
As Mr. Spock, as old man Spock would say, it is extremely illogical.
It is illogical, Captain.
For any middle class or low income American citizen to vote Republican, which is totally against their best interests. Now, if you're part of the top 20 or 1% or whatever, then you could be a stingy, cold-hearted, greedy bastard, and you can complain about every penny in taxes that you pay. And mind you, if you're rich and you pay higher taxes, guess what? You're still rich. Oh, heaven forbid they should give up one or two of their beach houses, their mansions on the beach, or maybe give up one of their yachts, or maybe just have one private
or
plane.
God forbid help the country or the economy.
Or not have a gold-plated toilet seat like Donald Trump has.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I hope it's cold on his ass.
I hope so. Cold on his ass.
Jeez.
Yeah, his ass will match his hair style. Did you see that pheasant I posted on Facebook? It had looked like it had Donald Trump hair.
Oh my God.
But anyway, I swear it looks just like it. I want to talk about speaking of capitalism and corporate greed, and especially since when Republicans are in charge of Washington, which they kind of are, because they're in charge of the Congress.
They are in charge of the House, and they are
the Senate,
and prevent anything in the Senate.
And the Democrats do not have the necessary 60 votes to override the Republicans in the Senate. So ipso facto ergo, the Republicans still control, thanks to all the zealot right-wing religious nuts in the Bible Belt state that voted them in.
But I remember something.
Yeah.
when Democrats are in office, the Republicans scream and yell about the deficit. But when they're in office, like Mr. Dick Cheney, Vice President, said many times, deficits don't matter. Isn't that a contradiction?
Because there's a reason why they're putting all the money into the military and starting all these wars where...
Because it makes money.
Yeah.
War's a racket. Smedley Butler, General.
I mean, going after Al-Qaeda and Osama bin Laden is one thing, but invading countries that have not threatened to attack or invade the United States, you have to think about why they're doing that.
They wanted the oil. They wanted the oil.
All right,
they got screwed.
Let me go through this. Speaking of capitalism, I wanna attack American retail industry, like I do quite often, because they're very sleazy. They're like snake oil salesmen. They're, because companies are deregulated by Republicans, they're allowed to lie to you and price gouge you and pretty much screw you over. I want to talk about this thing in the United States called the cover charge, the crooked cover charge. It could be a nightclub, where you just walk through the door and you have to pay just to step inside. It doesn't include a drink. It could be that. Or it could be this event that took place in my area that I was so excited it came to my area for the very first time, called the Reptile Expo, where all these multitudes of breeders of these exotic critters get together and show what they have and sell. Now, I drove all the way over to Teaneck, to the Teaneck, New Jersey Armory, and I had to go through so many traffic lights down the main drag to get there. I finally get there. I find a place to park. I walk all the way up the hill to the Armory. Lo and behold, there's a long, long line, much longer than motor vehicles. And so I asked people online, and I asked somebody that worked there, what's with the line? Oh, there's an $8 cover charge to get in. I said, what? You mean to tell me us suckers here that are standing online now, who are potential customers, have to pay a cover charge just to look at the vendors, and hopefully the vendors are hoping that we buy something? We are potential customers. Why are we being charged a whopping $8 cover charge? And there seems to be a trend in this area, New York metropolitan area, New Jersey. It's very, it's a scam as far as I'm concerned. The cover charge is simply a scam. It's dishonest. You don't get anything in return for the cover charge, and companies still, businesses continue to get away with it, the cover charge. It's different if you get something, like a book of coupons or something, anything. Or if you're walking into a nightclub, you get one free drink. Or there's a happy hour buffet that, maybe the food is a little upper class, and they charge a cover. But no, just to get in the stinking Reptile Expo, $8 cover. So as far as my segment of the Facebook group, food, everything is food, I induct the Reptile Expo, which travels, because they go on the road. I induct them into the Chiselers Hall of Shame. Shame on you, Reptile Expo organization, and you do go throughout the country. You do visit different areas. Shame on you. You're in the Chiselers Hall of Shame. And any business that charges a cover charge, any nightclub in this stinking rip-off area I live in, New Jersey. I mean, just take a look at the Jersey Shore, and the insane prices they charge you for everything on the boardwalk.
Speaking of that,
maybe it was punishment by the Lord,
Speaking of that, I saw last night on Piers Morgan,
I mean, the Storm Sandy. Yeah.
CNN, Kid Rock.
Okay, what's up with him?
Now, Kid Rock is going on tour.
Yeah.
And
okay.
he has made it so that the tickets will only cost $20, and the beer will be $4.
He's a nice guy.
He took a haircut
He's a nice guy.
in bringing that about.
Because Kid Rock already, most likely, is already a wealthy man.
Well, he is a wealthy man, but he does understand. I mean, he came from Detroit.
And I'm sure he remembers the days when he was just an ordinary citizen in Detroit, Michigan, trying to go to a rock concert or something and not being able to afford the highway robbery prices. And he was probably victimized like the rest of us.
And of course, Michigan is, in hard times right now.
Oh yeah, they're
very bad.
It's a disaster. Yeah. I was talking to Ken Create about all the cities throughout the country that are becoming slums and ghettos, and and impoverished. High crime rate, like New Orleans, Chicago, so on and so on.
Yeah, India's getting richer, and we're getting like India.
Yeah, India and China are improving, and
yeah.
we're slowly becoming like
third world.
A third world country.
Correct.
Exactly. I mean, I heard Memphis, Tennessee is run down. Pittsburgh is pretty kind of dumpy. Philadelphia, of course, is dumpier than it was before.
Philadelphia's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Camden.
Forget about Camden and Trenton and New Jersey.
Then you have towns. You have cities like Camden, New Jersey. Excuse me. Patterson, New Jersey.
Oh.
And then they bitch and moan in Patterson that the state and the federal government does not want to pour money into Patterson and help them out. Well, sure, they pocket all the money. I have my informers that told me local politics in Patterson is corrupt. They pocket all the money that come from the, from the state and federal government. So of course Chris Christie refused to give them money, give them funding.
More.
They cut the police force. I mean, they have a high crime rate in Patterson. The mayor cuts the police force, but the mayor reminds me of David Dinkins. Like a do-nothing. He don't want to hassle the brothers. Like he's like a do-nothing mayor. He doesn't really do a lot. And you gotta, hey man, cities like the ones I just mentioned, when you have the high crime rate, you can't go in there and feel sorry for them and negotiate with them. You can't negotiate with terrorists. You can't negotiate with criminals. You got to send the U.S. Marshals and the National Guard in there and say, get out or else. And clean house. Sometimes you got to cut the tumor out of the patient.
Yeah, but what happens in those areas or areas like that is crime becomes a way to survive.
You can't rehabilitate them.
Exactly.
See, I can't. When it comes to crime, I cannot take the far left liberal approach. I cannot take the liberal approach when it comes to crime. I believe you can't negotiate them. They're set in their ways. Quite often, psychological help, therapy doesn't work. They're too far gone. You know what I'm saying? It's like
it's just like Wall Street. It's just a different culture, but it's the same thing.
It's not a culture.
It's the greed.
It's the dregs of humanity. It's not a culture.
Well, Wall Street is the dregs of humanity too, except they have beautiful Brooks Brothers suits that they wear.
So what you're saying is,
instead of the pants down and your underwear sticking out.
So what you're saying is, what Ken told me, Ken Create told me, a sin is a sin is a sin.
Correct.
There are no little baby sins, medium-sized sins, and very large, severe sins.
No.
So they're all sin. It's all sin. So of course poverty.
There's only one great
poverty
sin.
Is probably the root cause of the crime.
Yeah, but who caused the poverty? It didn't just spring out of the air.
The fat cats, I think.
That's correct.
Because there's no opportunity for low-income people. The opportunity is just not there.
That's correct. Now, for instance, on a personal note, I was born in Pennsylvania.
Hazleton,
Pennsylvania. There was no work out there. My father was a miner.
As in coal miner.
And then there was no work out there. My father had to move to New Jersey to get a job. Now, Pennsylvania, you look back, it's the same today. In all those years, what the hell happened with the, you know?
If that's who I think it is, I'm going to be so pissed tonight.
I don't think it is. If somebody's been trying to want to yap with me on telephone thingy, and I don't have the time for that at the moment. I'm too busy. That's a salesman.
These people know. Screw you, salesman. Oh yeah, they're going to allow solicitors to call cell phones.
Of course. What did you think they weren't going to? Pop-ups on the internet.
Yeah, I can't.
The ads all over the stinking place.
Every time I'm on Firefox, every time I open up a new window for Firefox, I get an ad from Dr. Oz, some weight loss elixir that he's selling. You know, this capsule, these capsules that are supposed to miraculously burn the fat off. I'm getting Dr. Oz pop-ups every time I open up a Firefox. You know, so shame on you, greedy, not only greedy, drug-pushing allopathic Dr. Oz, but shame on you, Firefox, for not allowing your pop-up blocker to work. All right, it's another inductee into the Chiseler's Hall of Shame.
I just updated Firefox yesterday.
Yeah, 20 I think they have. And I updated the other thing, what is it, the VCL media player? VLC?
What the hell is that?
That's the media player that my brother-in-law said will accommodate absolutely any, even the most obscure file extensions for audio and video. It'll play everything. It means you don't have to worry about getting the codecs to play the videos.
All right. Well,
and I like it. It's very simple and straightforward. I think it's
I use Real Player.
I think it's VLC. They use an orange parking cone that you see on the street as an icon. It's I think it's
park it here, man.
Yeah, I think it's VLC.
That's cool.
I can't remember these friggin' acronyms and abbreviations. I'm full of Benadryl right now from the pollen, so don't mind me if I seem a little lethargic, but I'm trying. Celebrities, rich celebrities that for some reason they feel that they do not like to pay their income taxes. And there are certain celebrities that are under investigation. I guess they did not learn a lesson from Martha Stewart when she did jail time. But for some reason, I guess certain celebrities, entertainers that are famous, that are in the spotlight, they feel, either past, present, or future, they feel that they're better than the rest of us, so they do not have to pay their taxes. Kind of like the elitists.
Well, what did
corporations
say? The woman, real estate, married to the real estate guy, wasn't? Only the little people pay.
Leona Helmsley.
Leona Helmsley.
The late Leona Helmsley. Taxes are for the little people. Well, anyway, these celebrities that don't feel like paying taxes. Number one, the biggest culprit is Nicolas Cage. I think he owes like 14 or 16 mil, and he paid half of it so far. Then Dionne Warwick doesn't like to pay her taxes.
Oh boy.
Alec Baldwin, and the bitch that was on David Letterman's show mouthing off to him. Lindsay Lohan, the train wreck.
Oh,
Lindsay, the train wreck, the drunken train wreck. Lohan is owes $200,000. Now, with all her money, she can't pay $200,000.
Well, they can pay, they just don't want to.
They don't feel like it. So you know what? Lock them up. They put their pants on the same way we do, one leg at a time. Unless you're like your lady friend, she says she holds
She throws it across the room.
She jumps across the room and she props up the pants so she can fall right in.
Yeah.
Her legs can go right in. But yeah, so I mean, it's amazing how the egos get when a human being gets too many compliments and ends up in, being in a spotlight and becomes rich and famous, and how it goes to their heads, and then they think they're better than other people and they feel they don't have to pay taxes.
Their shit don't stink.
Their shit don't stink. And when when they have a Facebook profile, the new thing is, if somebody is even remotely in the spotlight, they want you to pay a fee just to send them just to send them a message to their inbox.
Stupid.
Yeah, they want like anywhere from $1 to like $15 per message, just to send something to their regular inbox, like they're so important and that you should pay just to send them a message. Interesting. Just like you have celebrities that hire other people to monitor and take care of their online profiles. They can't do it themselves. They're special. All right. Now, Walmart, I saw this commercial a couple times where Walmart is teaming up with General Mills, that toxic American food company that makes breakfast cereals. I don't even call it, what the advertisements claim. I wouldn't even call it food, because it's not food. Walmart is teaming with General Mills in that big nationwide program to fight hunger. To fight hunger. Only in America do they try and privatize charities with companies that sell toxic garbage and call it food. So, you're just filling the bellies of poor people. You're not really feeding them, because General Mills is probably most likely made up of refined, genetically modified green flours, and with a little fiber thrown in, and a whole lot of sugar.
Oh my God!
But all it seems like they're getting all these private corporations involved in charities for feeding homeless people,
it's good PR,
poor kids, huh?
It's good public relations
for the company.
Yeah.
So more people go and shop at Walmart because they're teaming up with General Mills to fight hunger.
All the problems Walmart has and everything, they have to a lot of PR to make people believe that they're not as bad as what people say. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Whenever a firm hires a PR company, they did something wrong. They're trying to change people's attitudes.
Yeah. So sick. Yeah. So shame on you. You're in the Chiseler's Hall of Shame, of course. Well, the food companies, the breakfast cereal companies, like General Mills and what's the other one? Kellogg's Post. For selling this garbage at $5 a box for mostly cane sugar.
Don't forget what it says on the box.
Most likely genetically modified grains.
Don't forget what it says on the box when it says about the labeling the nutrition. Milk adds substantial nutrition. So
don't count on our product. Yeah, so it's all snake oil, but these companies are deregulated. That's unfortunately the way it goes. So I'm so sick of that commercial. What is it with that stupid jingle? The one and only Cheerios, something like that. The one and only Cheerio. We're the one and only Cheerio, whatever. And they show this little baby picking up Cheerios that was thrown on his high chair table, and he's putting it in his mouth. The way kids eat. They can't hold a fork and do it straight. And the kid is eating
picking the Cheerios up one by one.
The dried Cheerios and putting in his mouth like it's supposed to be special. Meanwhile, it's nothing but oat flour with sugar in it. And
I usually see the one with the bee, with the woman who's a taxidermist or whatever. She's got all the bugs up on the wall framed, and the bee is giving her the cereal.
Honey nut Cheerios.
Honey nut Cheerios.
Honey nut Cheerios.
And then he actually looks up on the wall. He says, "Oh, bye."
You know what? Bye. Yeah,
I'm out of here.
You know what? I guarantee you, the bugs have more nutrition than the Cheerios.
Hey, John the Baptist ate locusts, and it is said that I think we're going to read something about it, so I won't go into it too much detail, but we can eat the cicadas.
Oh, which are supposed to be plentiful.
17-year cycle is up.
Well,
they're coming.
As a child, I would equate a hot summer with the very loud, you can't miss them, noise of the cicada insect, which is in the locust family, I think.
Oh yes, they look like locusts.
And
grasshoppers.
And they're quite loud, and they like a hot summer.
Well, they're quite loud because that is a call for the lover.
The lover, like a lightning bug. I always see lots of lightning bugs or fireflies or whatever. If we have a hot summer, we have to have a real hot summer, and last Saturday we were unable to get through an article.
An article.
There was you were about to read the supposedly the last article last Saturday, and
what was it concerning? Because that's probably gone.
It wasn't.
Sure, I didn't get through it. I think I did.
No, you didn't.
We didn't just end the program.
You mean to tell me, if I say to you, let's do this article next week, which is what I said, you just don't listen and you toss it? What the hell you do that for?
Because it goes bye-bye.
But you didn't read it.
Oh, I did read it.
No, you didn't. You read about one paragraph and something went wrong.
Well, what was it about?
We had technical difficulties. Remember?
What was it about?
I don't know. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't it wasn't a terribly important reading.
Bingo.
But the point is, I said save it for next week, and you didn't do it.
No, because when an article's done,
even when I deal with the pro wrestlers and with entertainers,
when an article is done,
they all do their own thing. They're all egomaniacal. When the article is done,
when an article is done, it goes to the right. If articles are to the right, they go in the garbage.
But you just read a paragraph of it, and we had technical.
Then why did it go to the right?
You put it to the right.
Well, then I must have been through with it.
You only read a paragraph of it.
Well, you don't even know what the article was about.
It was a small article.
I could maybe conclude it.
No, we had technical difficulties. Remember?
I'm saying if I knew what it was about.
Do you remember the technical difficulty? And we don't have that. We're not going to have that anymore because I upgraded the system.
I don't know what the article was about. I could finish
professionalism at all times.
That's not professionalism.
This is not comedy, folks. This is real. This is live. This is real, unplanned. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable. Just like when I got heat for pointing out the mistakes that Gary knows people were making. You know, just putting his chair any place without worrying about the background. Professionalism is very important. Go ahead, read the article. I'm already in a bad mood.
Campaign aids.
I was fine before.
Well, then you should not concern yourself with such a tiny thing.
But it might have been a good article.
It might. But we'll never know, so why worry about it?
I guess we'll never know now.
Correct. On we go.
On we go.
Lean forward.
Yeah, right.
The future awaits.
Unbelievable.
That's the fact.
Unbelievable.
Campaign aides to Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell.
Oh, God.
Proposed
turtle-faced bastard.
Using actress Ashley Judd's past bouts with depression against her.
I knew it.
If she had decided to challenge him in his re-election bid next year.
I read about this. I knew that turtle-faced McConnell and the Republicans were going to find dirt on Ashley Judd. I knew it.
Well, all he had to do was look in her book.
She's an actress, and she's out of Hollywood. Of course, she has skeletons in her closet.
according to a secret recording. Mother Jones magazine released the recording on Tuesday, along with an article about a private meeting in which the aides discussed opposition research into potential Democratic challengers. Aides laughed on the recording about Judd's political positions, religious beliefs, and past bouts of depression. The FBI is looking into how the recording was made after the McConnell campaign accused opponents of engaging in Watergate-era tactics.
The comical McConnell campaign. Hey, 3 C's.
The magazine reported that the recording was provided last week by a source who requested anonymity.
Is that like a sea anemone?
She's clearly, this sounds extreme, but she is emotionally unbalanced.
Oh, but it's okay to be a greedy, corporatist, corrupt politician.
That's not unbalanced. That's the American way.
That's not unbalanced. For the things that Mitch McConnell is for, and all the good things that he voted against.
We want to make President Obama a one-term president.
So being a scumbag and being dishonest and greedy, that's a good psychological trait.
Yes.
But having bouts of depression is not good.
Good Republican trait.
So Mitch McConnell feels that people in Kentucky should vote for his ugly turtle face ass and not Ashley Judd. Ashley Judd is not the best opponent to go to the state.
Anyone would be better than Mitch McConnell.
Look. Even Elmer Fudd would be a better choice than Mitch McConnell.
Or blee, blee, blee. That's all, folks.
Or Porky Pig. Or Foghorn Leghorn.
Foghorn Leghorn.
I said. Or Yosemite Sam, who sounds like Foghorn Leghorn. They would all be a better choice in the state senate to represent Kentucky. But
Daniel Boone would be better.
I think
Kentucky.
They need somebody who's
but
I don't want to get into the word qualified because
no politicians are qualified. There's no way to qualify.
Ashley Judd is you know how I feel about Hollywood. I just don't think Hollywood should be in the Congress or the Senate.
How about president? Because we had one.
I didn't vote for Reagan.
The God, Ronald Reagan.
I know, the God who shifted the tax burden from the rich to the middle class. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, Judd spoke to the American Counseling Association's National Convention in Cincinnati last month about her experiences with depression. McConnell was asked several times at a news conference about the propriety of attacking Judd over depression, but he would not answer.
Maybe she was depressed over all the shenanigans done by the Republicans in Congress. Maybe that depressed her.
No, it was probably a more personal thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, crying the blues over some sleazebag dude with all these chicky poos and entertainers in Hollywood. They have a tendency. They don't want a nice, decent, normal, clean-cut man.
Huh?
They want the bad boy image. So,
although scanty and compressing bras are regarded as inappropriate by some.
Pressing? You mean like push-up bras that show extra cleavage and make a woman's breast look larger?
Of greater concern to me as a certified bra fitter.
Certified bra fitter. Is it a man who's saying this or a woman?
It's a woman.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say. Certified bra fitter.
Are the health implications of these garments?
A woman should always remove her bra for health reasons before she goes to bed before she sleeps because the circulation must return
Underwire,
for safety, for health reasons, to the breast.
too small and constrictive bras cut off circulation of both blood and lymph fluid
There you go.
around the breast.
I haven't even read this article, and I knew the answer.
Lymph glands play an important role in draining toxins from the breast.
There you go.
The toxins that are within the breast tissue include some biochemical products of tissue edema, such as free radicals, which are known to cause cancer. In addition, there are toxins in our air, food, and water, including pesticides, herbicides, heavy metals, and other products of our petrochemically polluted world. Many toxins are known to cause cancer. These toxins are delivered to all of our tissues each day through the bloodstream, and it is the job of the lymphatic system to remove them. Bras inhibit this function by compressing and constricting the breasts, bringing rise to the theory that bras contribute to breast cancer. The breasts are the most clothing constricted of any organ, which may explain why women have more cancer in the breast than elsewhere in their bodies. It also points to why women have more breast cancer than men, and why breast cancer is more of a problem in cultures in which bras are worn. We need to focus more on the health concerns associated with improperly fitted bras and choose for ourselves and our daughters bras that do not interfere with circulation and the flow of lymph fluid.
Right.
The
Oh boy.
the editors of the Record, which is our local newspaper,
Yeah, the Record. Yeah, the
one
corporate
of the
kiss,
biggies,
corporate kiss asses.
they are telling Republicans that they must be willing to offer up more new taxes, and cautioning President Obama about his willingness to work with Republicans because that doesn't work.
Yeah, working bipartisanship compromising is proven not to work because there was never any compromise.
Didn't the Republicans compromise on January 1st when they agreed to raise the top income tax rate on people earning $400,000 a year, as well as increasing the capital gains rate to 20%? Didn't taxes on medical devices and a 3.8% tax on capital gains for high income earners take effect on January 1? Taxes that are supposed to help pay for health care reform. In 2014, penalties, not taxes, will be imposed on both individuals and employers if they don't comply with Obamacare. And despite these new taxes and tax increases, the Record is calling for more new taxes, which is amazing, when just a few months ago, another editorial said that New Jerseyans are overtaxed. I guess federal taxes don't count in the assessment of the tax burden that citizens of New Jersey must bear.
The middle class are overtaxed. Property taxes, income taxes, not Chris Christie's buddies.
And of course they conveniently forget the last 30 years where the rich have had a holiday as far as taxes are concerned.
30 years,
forgotten.
30 years of a free ride.
Right. 30
years of a free ride, and they still expect subsidies and bailouts.
Yeah.
But heaven forbid the poor should get welfare.
Oh,
Only the rich should get welfare.
makes them lazy.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't make the poor, the rich lazy.
No, when they sit around getting their capital gains, no, they don't. They are the job creators.
The job creators.
Where are the jobs they created in the last 5 years?
Mainland China.
Or before that, under Mr. George W. Bush.
India, the third world, and now mainland China. That is where the job creation is taking place, or has taken place.
Well, I guess they're not liars because they are the job creators. Unfortunately, it's in other countries.
Anytime a small entrepreneurial business, like somebody who started out with a mom and pop store, who built it from scratch, a lot of these small business people, many of them did start from scratch and build their business. And they are self-made. But when you're talking about fat cats, the 1% corporations, a lot of these people inherited that, that own a corporation. They were born with a silver spoon in their mouth, like Donald Trump. They didn't. Don't let them lie to you and fool you that they have built their business through hard work, because they don't work hard. Believe me. They have other people do it for them.
Not if you're getting capital gains, baby.
They delegate to the people they hire.
Of course, I shouldn't be surprised by this philosophy, because back in the early 1970s, the record was constantly preaching the merits of a state income tax as a way to solve our high property taxes. And now, after some 40 years of the income tax, along with the 7% sales tax, New Jersey still has the highest property taxes in the nation.
Oh. Okay. We are going to take a break. It is time for the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman's gastronomic delight, known as lunch, followed by mega supplementation, because he is a very high energy person who works round the clock, and he needs his fuel. He needs his high octane rocket fuel.
Ha!
So therefore he must take
to the moon, Alice.
To the moon, Alice. He must absorb his mega nutrients. Okay, I even mentioned that even saying hi makes it seem unprofessional. Just to say hello, hi, how's everybody doing? Because then it becomes like, then it starts to sound like hee-haw. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do a very serious, professionally oriented educational program, and we just can't be having people coming on the show or calling in saying, how you guys doing? How's everybody doing? Howdy, partner, or hi there, or I mean, unless you have something to say and you want to talk about an issue. Now, if somebody called in and had an issue to discuss of importance, like talk about GMOs and Monsanto, or talk about something the Republicans are doing right now, then I have no problem with that. But for somebody to call just for small talk, just to shoot the breeze on a show of this type, it's just not applicable. Applicable. Let me do a little promo. This guy next to me, see this guy? This is a self-portrait of the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman, because Dr. Bill is a fine watercolor artist, and this is a self-portrait done with watercolors. You can see the entire, actually not 95%, or a little more, of the William J. Eisenman collection by going to williamjeisenmancollection.tumblr.com. And Tumblr is not spelled the normal way. People that create names for URLs and profiles, everybody has to come up with their own version of the King's English. I don't know why they do that. It's very annoying. It's kind of ghetto. Anyway, they spell Tumblr Tumbler. There's no E involved. So it's WilliamJEisenmanCollection.tumblr.com. You can see the entire, 95% of his watercolor paintings. There might be a few gouache paintings in there from last time, but it's mostly watercolor. And if you see something you like, just simply inquire about it, decide which one you like, and go to newslettercensored.com and send Dr. Bill an email, and if it's available, you can procure the painting. It'll be signed by William J. Eisenman. Authentic watercolor painting. Okay. If you're wondering how you can join this organization and be a part of this organization, well, it's simple. You just go to newslettercensored.com and you get your free annual subscription to Newsletter Censored, founded in 1977 by the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman. There's a brand new issue out. Is it 123? Volume number 123, titled We Need a New Deal. The original New Deal was with FDR, right?
Yeah, being scuttled by the Republicans daily.
Yes, we need a New Deal. Get your free annual subscription, which right now is hot off the pancake griddle. Get it right now. This is the best way to join our organization and support this work. So go to newslettercensored.com. You can click on the printable order form, but if you don't have a printer that works, or if you can't afford the ink, just clearly print in nice bold ink or a Sharpie or whatever you want to use. Make sure it's clear, your full name and address, and you, with your gift to support this work, and your full name and address printed, no chicken scratching, no hieroglyphics, you will get your free annual subscription to the newsletter that started it all. Newsletter Censored. There's nothing like Newsletter Censored out there. You need Newsletter Censored. We are living in the end times. You need Newsletter Censored to learn how to defeat a conservative and what the Bible really has to say, not what right-wing fundamentalists, zealot, counterfeit Christians from the right wing tell you what the Bible says. They're trying to rewrite the Bible to suit their own power-hungry, greedy agenda. But what the Bible really has to say, the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman will tell you. You can also go to your browser and type in William J. Eisenman. You know what you do? Type in Censored on Demand Archive Classics, or God Project on Demand Archive Classics, and Mega Life 21, and you will see the playlists. So you don't miss a thing. You will not miss anything. The videos on demand are there of the readings of the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman for Censored and for the God Project. So, and if you go to Cyber Church of God, which the link is located on our Internet Talk radio station, you go there, there is an audio playlist of the God Project. So there's no need to get your butt out of bed and get all dressed up on a Sunday to drive to some church where the pastor doesn't really know what's in the Bible. I mean, for real. And there's so many pastors that just interpret things differently that most
lead people astray.
They lead people astray. They perpetuate the mass confusion that was predicted in the end times. The white horse of the apocalypse, the false church and the false prophets. There's so many.
Blind leading the blind.
Right, the blind leading the blind. So you have all these pastors out here that do not really know what's in the Bible. Plus, a lot of them are egomaniacal. They care about, their popularity. Usually, these are the ones that won't let anybody else come up and speak. It all has to come from them. But instead of dealing with the false prophets and the false teachers, just simply click on that audio player and listen to the God Project. There's a whole multitude of God Projects there by the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman, and he will tell you what is actually in the Bible. So it's
and then
there.
It's your job to go check it out. And don't believe some preacher.
Yes, because Dr. Bill gives references. He gives the location of the verses. So it's not like these lazy people that just want to hear some evangelist talk. Some phony baloney TV evangelists. Like the scammers like Peter Popoff or Benny Hinn or Joel Osteen. Where, they have people just want to
Some scammer hit Joel Osteen the other day.
Yeah.
Put up a website or something saying supposedly from Joel Osteen that he had given up on his religion. But it was a fake.
Joel Osteen is, and the others I mentioned, I guess including Pat Robertson. These are, your Benny Hinn, Joel Osteen. These are prosperity preachers.
Uh-huh.
They don't talk about much of anything except the fact that God wants you to be rich. But how you can test these prosperity preachers that are on television, who get suckers to donate a lot of money to them?
They don't call that communism.
Oh yeah, that's not. Yeah, no. But how you can test them is to see how much of their millions do they donate to help the poor. Like that banner I found of a 1 point, what the heck was it? 1.1 or 1.2 million dollars for this gigantic steel cross put on it might have been on the lawn of a mega church. They have over $1 million to spend on a gigantic steel cross,
which is not even a Christian symbol.
But they don't have the money, to feed the homeless and poor children. And like, instead of spending over $1 million on a gigantic cross, like a tower cross, instead of spending all that money on an ornament. Same thing with the Catholic Church and their magnificent basilicas and ornaments. Right. Not to mention the Vatican with the gold that's in there, and the Pope. The point is, take all that ostentatious wealth, don't squander it on ornaments, on show off gigantic symbols of your success, of your prosperity, and use it to feed poor people, homeless, poor kids that do not eat properly every day, the hungry. Use it for a good purpose and behave like a real Christian.
Well, if the economy were righted, there would probably be no poor to help out. Everyone would have their own land and their own way to make a living.
All they have to do is trim down the military to a logical budget that makes sense. Make the rich take on the tax burden again. Take the burden off of the middle class. Make the rich pay the taxes. And if they insist on outsourcing American jobs, tariff the products when they try to bring it back in the country. And no more Wall Street bailouts, no more welfare for the rich. And that would not only wipe out the deficit and give us a surplus again, but that would eliminate the problem that we have with the homeless and poverty in the United States. You know?
Maybe the rich wouldn't like that because there'd be no difference between them and those below them.
You mean the little guy, they won't be able to hire the little people as slaves.
Or lord things over them.
And maybe instead of the, what is it, $7 and change?
25, $7.15 or
what is the minimum wage? The federal minimum
wage. I think it's $7.15.
Instead of a drop in the bucket like $7.15 an hour, or whatever it is, 7 something, the federal minimum wage will be up to date with the with 2013, with and it'll be it would correspond with the high cost of living like it's supposed to.
But wages have only
updated.
Stayed stagnant. They haven't grown in over 30 years. While CEO pay has skyrocketed, soared, etc., and other ways of siphoning the money upward have skyrocketed. It is a robbing of those below on the economic ladder. That's been going on for over 30 years.
It definitely is, and the free ride has been going on for 30 years. The free ride, and
you don't hear it said that way, do you?
See, what really what really hammered the last nail in the coffin, or broke the camel's back, as far as I'm concerned with the two-party system, is when Obama signed the Monsanto Protection Act to protect the evil, wicked, greedy, demonic entity known as Monsanto,
and allow them to poison our food.
And maybe it's done on purpose to cull the herd, to kill off America's poor, and to end up with the middle class working as slaves, as well as child labor in other countries in the third world. There is child labors going on, and then you get charged a high price for that sweatshop product that's being brought back into the country, made by child labor or made by poor people in China working for 32 cents an hour, or in Bangladesh working for, I don't know, 14 cents an hour, and you get ripped off with high prices for that product because these products are not being tariffed like they should. Hey, you want to be a trader and you want to ship American jobs to a third world country? Well, somebody's got to pay for the poor Americans that are homeless and can't find.
The tax code
can't find work.
Shouldn't be benefiting those people for doing that either.
No,
they are benefited from shipping jobs overseas. We have self-inflicted wounds in this country.
Yeah,
we did them ourselves to help the big boys.
Yeah, you're funny looking.
At the expense of the little boys. And girls.
At the expense of the little boys and girls. You're funny looking turtle face Senator Mitch McConnell, who is pointing fingers at Ashley Judd for being mentally imbalanced. It's people like him that are behind all this corrupt, greedy, stingy, mean-spirited way of running the country. And
kiss assy for the big boys and girls.
Dick sucking or cock sucking, whatever you want to call it.
I don't mind them
corporate kiss ass.
I don't mind them kissing some big girl's ass, but guys' asses too. Come on.
Well, their campaign funds are coming from somewhere. It's all based on campaign contributions by the big boys. So now they owe them a favor. So That's the two-party system. If you want to keep on voting two-party, things are only going to get worse. But then again, things getting worse are prophesied in the Bible.
You see right now with this gun control stuff that's going on, and the parents of Newtown and everything, they want to get up there on Capitol Hill and etc. to see the senators and the congressmen, and the senators and congressmen don't want to see them because they don't have any checks. They're not bringing checks.
They're not bringing checks. Yeah, and now this story recently in Toms River, New Jersey, with this little 4-year-old
tissue.
This little 4-year-old monster brat drags a 22 caliber hunting rifle out of the house and plays with it like it's a toy. And we all know how little boys can't keep their hands off things, and they snoop, and they have to go into their mommy and daddy's dresser drawers and closets, because heaven forbid younger generation parents should ever discipline their kids. They want to negotiate with them and give them freedom to learn on their own, so they don't want to discipline them.
Time out.
So the little
monster, you are going to time out.
Time out. We used to get a bada bing right across the chops, man.
My mother used a broom.
Well, my grandmother
whack in the ass with a broom.
My grandmother had the infamous wooden spoon. You know, the kind that you stir your spaghetti sauce with, and it hurt. But the point is, they're an undisciplined little monster. Drags the rifle out of his from somewhere and ends up shooting this 6-year-old boy in the head,
dead, by the way,
who died.
Correct.
From this, because the little kid doesn't get because the kids in America are not getting their asses kicked like they're supposed to. Anyway,
they're like they're adults. They have no responsibility. They never learned responsibility.
Oh, that's true. If I'm in a restaurant, let's say I'm at my favorite buffet, and quite often a younger generation parents would come in with their little monsters, and the kids would run amok. They'll be screaming. They'll be bothering other people, running back and forth,
sneezing on the salad bar.
Do you know? No, they can't reach that far. Oh. But did you know that their parents just continue talking amongst themselves and do nothing?
Yeah, they don't care.
And let their kids disrespect somebody else's property?
Correct.
Which is what it is.
Correct.
They're not home. Anyway, there's the ominous voice was left on my voicemail, coming from the maybe it was from the New World Order, maybe it was from the 1%. The fat cats left the ominous voice. We are here to kill you. We are here to kill you. We are here to kill you. That sounds like we are here to kill you.
Or at least they're warning us.
At least they're warning us, yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm getting really good on my African djembe drum, made from sustainably harvested mahogany and goatskin. I'm getting really good. So I'll be a percussionist, a juice harp player, and a concussionist. Get it? Concussion, or is it concussion?
Concussion.
Concussion.
Funny.
Concussion.
Funny.
Concussionist with my shillelagh for you right wingers. All right, let us sink our teeth back into these readings, unless we get another interruption from Beelzebub.
Dozens of sea turtles that became stranded off Cape Cod last fall are headed south to be released off northeast Florida.
They got lost?
Last year. Now they were taken care of during the winter, and now they're going to be released off the northeast coast of Florida.
Given a head start. Yeah. I wonder why all these animals are getting lost and ending up stranded on beaches. Like, they've lost their navigational abilities.
Could it be harp?
Ooh, yes, the infamous harp. if you don't know what HAARP is, Google Jesse Ventura's conspiracy theory and watch the program about HAARP. You'll find out.
A group of 242 cold, stunned turtles washed up on Massachusetts beaches last November and December. That's more than 3 times the number that typically get stranded. The threatened and endangered turtles have since been rehabilitated, and this weekend's move is the last major transport of turtles that stranded last fall. So they're off to a new start.
Good, I'm happy. I love turtles. Are cute animals, and they're living fossils. Literally.
Somebody had a picture up there on Facebook last night feeding 3 huge tortoise.
That's me.
You put that up there?
They look like either Galapagos. That was me. It's either Galapagos tortoises or they're Aldabra tortoises. They were quite huge.
Yeah.
And I also put one of an Asian woman carrying an alligator, a pet alligator, in her baby.
Smooching it.
Yeah, kissing it on the tip, on the lips, bringing it out on the streets for a walk.
I saw that too.
Yeah, in public. It was in a, what do you call them? The baby carrying
the baby
hammock
thing, yeah.
Baby
like
hammock.
What the hell do they call them? The Indians,
Papoose.
Papoose.
Yeah, I hate it when the men do that. It looks so effeminate, you know. But
hey,
like no, hey, it looks effeminate.
That's the modern male, baby.
No, yeah, what the namby-pamby metrosexual male?
He is. He does half of the homework.
Wussy.
Half of the homework.
No. It's the role of the mother to be a mother and take care of her kid. Not for a man to walk around with a papoose.
Well, what was up? Was it up there? No, I believe it was in Time magazine. There's a picture of... Remember that picture from Time magazine where the kid, the 4-year-old kid or whatever, was still nursing from the mother's breast?
Oh, yeah.
Well...
4-year-old kid?
Well, what was he, 5, 6?
No freaking way. There was a woman...
Hey, I'm 69. I've been nursing from her breast.
Listen, on Telemundo, on the Latin channel, they have a lawyer that has a program similar to People's Court. She's from Miami, and there was a woman and her 19 or 22-year-old, whatever the hell he was, kid that was still drinking milk from his mother's teat.
Well, anyway.
Which is kind of bizarre.
There was a picture of Obama.
And incestuous, if you...
Obama nursing a kid. Then there was another picture, I believe this one was on Facebook.
Photoshop?
Of Obama kissing Chavez.
Photoshop?
I guess so. Because I don't think they were mooching.
All the right-wing flamers out there are making bogus photographs, and also very unusually beautiful scenic photographs that are too colorful to be real have been posted on the internet. Photoshop again. So there's a lot of no-talent people that have nothing better to do than to take something from reality and modify it so they can get their 5 minutes of fame, 15 minutes of fame. But I forgot what I was going to say before when you interrupted me.
Turtles.
Huh? What, the turtles?
Turtles. Alligator.
Yeah, there was a woman who from Australia that had a pet freshwater crocodile, and this crocodile just climbed up on a couch with her and watched TV with her and on her lap.
Did he have favorite shows? Oh, God. Jeez.
You know what his favorite song was? Crocodile Rock.
Oh, jeez. Bells.
Hold on.
Good Lord.
But if there was a sad chick flick on, he would have crocodile tears too. Hey, what happened to one of my bells, man? One of my bells is hung up. Hey, the levity bells. Okay. I was going to say something else, but you might as well.
Did you play outside today? You might have been thirsty.
Yesterday I did because I was getting my garden ready for the
well,
season.
You might have been thirsty when you came inside.
Why is that?
A long drink of cool water, whether from a water fountain or the kitchen faucet, probably tasted great.
No, it doesn't. I don't drink tap water.
That drink of water might not have seemed like a big deal to you.
It's toxic.
But for millions of people around the world, that drink would have been a dream come true.
Oh, yeah. You mean people living in very arid parts of the world?
Water scarcity,
Drought,
or undersupply affects more than thirst. Not having enough water, clean water, makes people sick. And it makes it more difficult to grow and prepare food and generate energy.
Well, stagnant water is just a filthy substance.
Who was it yesterday? I think they got the worm from water.
Cryptosporidium?
No, the worm, it grew big
Water,
inside them.
a waterborne parasite.
Yeah. Worm.
Oh, yeah.
The United Nations has declared 2013 the International Year of Water Cooperation.
They should call it cooperation for agriculture for food.
Through many different programs, the UN is helping countries and governments work together to improve access to clean water. About 6 don't have access to safe drinking water. Most of the Earth's water isn't even available to us. Less than 1% of our planet's water is fresh water that we can drink. The average American home uses 400 gallons of water per day. Most of that is used indoors, in the bathroom, and laundry. About 70% of the planet's fresh water is used for irrigation, or supplying water to land and crops. Water is necessary to make everything we use, from blue jeans to coffee. For example, it takes 924 gallons of water to raise a 2-pound chicken.
Oh, really?
Really. It takes 1,800 gallons to raise 1 pound of beef. Experts tell us that managing our water is most important for kids. They are most affected by changes in our environment, including our water systems. As our climate changes and the world's population grows, humans' need for water is also changing. Children are more vulnerable or threatened by lack of water or unclean water because they are still growing.
Oh, yeah. And also these countries, these third world countries or fifth world countries living in arid parts of the world, there are specific food products, crops that are drought resistant, that could be introduced, and they could be taught how to farm them. Desert growing, like for instance, the grains sorghum and millet are drought resistant, and I'm sure there are other desert-like plants. So it's not just water. Actually, these drought-resistant plants will help hold moisture in the dry soil. But there's a lot of things that could be done. I mean, solar power in these hot, dry areas, the solar towers that the German scientists invented, solar panels, perhaps wind generators. I mean, you take a bad situation and you make the best of it.
Yeah, but if a private company can't make profit, it ain't gonna get done.
And there lies the problem.
We'd be still waiting around for our interstate highway system to be built by privatized farms.
Interstate highway. What about modernizing our public transportation system?
We'd still be waiting.
Instead of having those dinosaur trains that Amtrak has,
every time
we should be having the bullet train that Europe and Japan has.
Every time I watch a travel show, and it shows a subway system in some other country, it is so clean and etc. compared to the MTA over in New York.
That's because the people that live in the urban areas of the United States are scumbags compared to the people who live in, let's say, an Asian or European country.
They don't respect whatever.
No, they don't respect whatever is right, you know. What about the fact that it's not modern? The subways are not only
because it's private.
They're not only very clean, but they're modern in other countries, and the laws are enforced. If you're in Singapore, you can't like be a litter bug and just throw something on the ground. They'll arrest your ass.
Yeah.
You know, they don't. You have to enforce the laws too.
Yeah, like the Security and Exchange Commission that refused to uphold the laws and enforce the laws during the financial meltdown.
Yeah, well, they didn't do what Iceland did. They didn't throw the banksters in prison where they belong.
We need to break up all the big banks. We need to make everything a state bank or a community bank.
Look,
North Dakota's had a state bank since 1919, I believe it is. It works for the state, not for some private person that can get rich.
Yeah.
Gambling with your money.
Yeah, I'm not saying that everything is hunky-dory in other countries. I mean, they take money that's supposed to be allocated for the poor and they pocket it, the politicians. I mean, but it seems like privatization of everything and corruption is worldwide. It's in the United States.
It just seems that in
also,
the United States they get away with more of it.
Or they call it something else. It's not. It's
called. Well, there's two terms that
it's called job creators.
It's called making a profit. What's wrong with making a profit? There is something wrong with making a profit.
If you're not paying
at the expense of someone else.
If you're making a profit at somebody else's expense, unethically, and you're not paying your fair share in income taxes, there is something very wrong with that.
And what does God say about haste to make?
He that makes haste to be rich shall not be innocent.
Correct.
And as the nail sticketh between two stones, so does sin stick to buying and selling.
Yeah. Now this is for you.
Among others.
Because I believe that you are experiencing this particular problem at the moment.
You mean the desire to conk somebody over the head with my shillelagh?
No.
What's that?
Informed sources tell me that ants are social insects belonging to the family Formicidae.
Which includes wasps, I believe, and hornets. Yeah, I have the little tiny ants that come into the house.
Sugar and grease.
Huh?
Sugar and grease, they're called.
They come into the home during the spring, during their breeding season, when the
dirty queen starts popping them out like nothing.
Which ant has the wings? The
queen.
The queen has the wings, so it can start a new colony. Okay.
Because they can only have one queen per colony.
Correct. Same with bees.
Yeah. Which may or may not explain why they are suddenly attracted to my mother's formica. When I was growing up in Queens, New York, we had plenty of ants outside, but none inside.
They're not attracted to your mother's formica. They're attracted to whatever is on your mother's formica.
Counter.
Counter.
On the counter.
The substance that's on the formica that hasn't been cleaned.
I have no idea why.
Stupid fucker.
Perhaps it was because my mother kept a home so spotless that there was nothing for the ants to come inside for. Since then, I have lived in an assortment of ant-filled and ant-free environments. When I moved into my house in Woodridge,
New Jersey,
1998, I noticed ants tramping around my kitchen. But only during the merry month of May.
Oh, God. They got to be coming in for a reason. I mean...
Concerned friends advised me to invest in ant traps and or attack them with sprays, bombs, ant hand grenades,
that doesn't get to the root of the problem.
and other weapons of ant destruction.
Yeah, except the source.
I opted instead to spray blue glass cleaner around the area where they were congregating.
Of course, it's a chemical. Of course the ants are going to die when they
Since
come in
then,
contact with ammonia.
I've seen an ant here or there, but nothing to be concerned about. 3 ants in 15 years isn't exactly a reason to call the exterminator. But I have one on speed dial, just in case. He stops by every month, puts out all sorts of traps, for mice, bats, alligators, and other undesirables. The guy lives in Woodward. What the alligator trap? What the hell?
You know what? I have to ring the levity bells. The guy lives 5 minutes away from where I live in the northeastern New Jersey, and he has alligator traps. You know what I think? See you later, alligator. You're on your way to the funny farm.
I think he's charging him for nothing. For doing nothing. A few years ago, I found 2 mice the size of fingernails in my kitchen.
What? The size of fingernails? You mean they're newborn field mice. They're probably pinkies.
Naturally, I was upset about this, especially when my trusty hardware store guy told me, if you have 2, you have 2,000.
When it comes to rodents, I agree. Or cockroaches.
Oi.
Yeah.
I eventually related this teeny tale of rodent woe to my parents, who had a mixed reaction to the news. My father fell asleep. But my mother, who is the Ervolino family's worrywart in chief.
I would fall asleep too if I had to listen to this babbling chick.
And Pestmaster General told me
Pestmaster General.
I should go down into the basement to investigate. Poke around downstairs, she said. See if you find their business. Their what?
Their business?
Their business, she repeated. Oh, their business. So I went downstairs. Sure enough, right next to the dryer, I found a tiny pizzeria that said Mickey's Italian Specialties on the awning.
For real? There was a pizzeria that opened up in her basement?
Not. 2 days later, dear old M called back. Well, she asked, did you find anything?
Gosh.
I told her I didn't. But there's so much junk down there.
Yeah.
I found a green blanket, snowshoes, and a grandfather clock, but no mice were running up it.
Oh, a grandfather clock. It could be an antique. I like grandfather clocks.
Yeah, me too.
And cuckoo clocks. German cuckoo clocks.
Cuckoo, cuckoo. Still, I called the exterminator.
They should make a cuckoo clock with a little, like Barbara Bachman or Sarah Palin or
Michelle Bachman.
Or I'm sorry, Michelle Bachman, or better yet, the Medusa and the Coulter of Fox News coming out on a witch's broom.
The exterminator set up traps
Alright.
all over the place. In fact, I've been paying him to do this for 5 years now.
Well, he's probably not.
And to date, We haven't caught one mouse. I think this guy's a sucker.
I think this exterminator is purposely not doing a complete job, so he gets calls to
He's
come
like
back.
a lawyer that you keep on retainer. You know?
He's milking it, man.
Yeah.
This guy's milking it. This what'd you call him? Pest Master General?
Yeah. This infuriated my mother, who said my house was 100 years old and should have mice in it.
Should have mice in it? This is a nutty family. It doesn't surprise me with people in my area.
Well, it doesn't, I said. Are you sure? Of course I'm sure.
Should have mice.
The exterminator is sure. What else do you want me to do? I'm not going to the pet store to buy mice.
This is a very long and annoying article. Are you almost to the end?
I'm already spending too much to kill the ones I don't have.
You need a pest exterminator for the family, let alone the pests.
As for my parents' ants, my mother found them in her kitchen a couple of weeks ago and immediately blamed me. I stay in their house on weekends, in the ground floor apartment, which does not have ants.
It does not have ants.
They live up in the upstairs apartment, which does have ants. Oh, how is this my fault? Well, they're coming from somewhere. We're on the second floor. You're on the first floor. Do you think they're coming in by helicopter?
You hear that siren? Those are the people, those are the guys with the big butterfly nets for this family. The guys in the white coats are coming.
There is often one person in every family who gets blamed for everything, and in my family, I'm that person, but I shrugged it off.
You know what? I know why. I would blame her for everything too.
Whatever I said, spray them with glass cleaner.
What an idiot.
She refused, purchased assorted bug sprays, and still has ants.
Are you almost finished so I can go on a tirade?
Yeah.
All right, finish up.
Last Tuesday, she came to another brilliant conclusion. It must be the dog's food, she said.
Is the dogs usually finish their food quickly? They're like eating machines. There was dog food left over?
When you feed the dog up there, you put her chicken in her dish, and the ants come because they're attracted to what the dog doesn't eat.
What kind of namby-pamby pooch do they have that doesn't finish its meal?
I rolled my eyes.
All the pooches I ever had used to eat everything.
You're blaming my dog now? I don't believe you. I feed her downstairs too, and there are no ants down there.
Oh, God, help me.
As for what she doesn't eat, that's ridiculous. She's a dog. Dogs eat whatever you put in front of them.
Or at least we give you a little comedy every now and then.
The only dog that would leave food on his plate was my father's great-uncle Lorenzo, who died at the table in 1932 in the middle of a bowl of spaghetti.
Yeah.
What a way to go, huh?
No, he couldn't take listening to these ladies. That's
A
why he dropped
shame.
dead. Huh?
A shame, my mother said. And on top of
Holy
everything else,
crap.
those two nasty sisters of his lived to be over 100 years old. True,
Besides,
she couldn't get rid of those ants either. A-U-N-T-S. Ring the bells.
you know what? This family needs pest control for its family members. Well, are you done with this moron?
Yes, he's
Listen. All she's got to do, all she has to do is what the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman did recently. She has to acquire this substance,
Ant bait.
which is an ant bait, where the ants,
made by the PIC Corporation.
okay, where the ants are able to take it back to the colony and feed it to the queen. So the source of the ants' reproduction, the whole entire colony perishes, including the queen. That's how you intelligently deal with pest control. Plus, there is a natural non-toxic product. I believe it's called, well, it's pronounced eugenol. It was used by that guy down in Louisiana, they had the, or I think he's still on the air. I'm not sure. He had a reality show about killing varmints, and he did not use pesticides. He used eugenol as a natural way to kill infestation of insects. And then there's the old-fashioned folk remedy for insects that are unwelcome in your house, and that is simply you take boric acid,
sugar,
yes,
and water.
Confectionery sugar. No.
Oh, then you make an icing.
No water, my friend. No water.
Yeah, water.
No water.
What the hell are you gonna do?
Let me finish. You take the confectionery sugar, boric acid powder, and or diatomaceous earth.
That's a new formula.
You can do it. You can put two piles. You can do the confectionery sugar with the diatomaceous earth, which desiccates, let's say, the cockroaches because it penetrates their chitosan, their exoskeleton, and dries them out. Okay, or with the boric acid, it just simply kills them because they come to eat the powdered sugar and they ingest the boric acid. They're always cleaning themselves, and they transfer it to other members, and that's how you get rid of them and save money doing it. Of course, you got to place the mixture, dry mixture, where you think they're hanging out, where you think they're coming into the home. There's a new mosquito trap that's being posted on Facebook now. I have to read it. It's a homemade mosquito trap where you take like a 2-liter plastic bottle and you invert it and you cut it and you put something in it which has the trap is stagnant water where the mosquitoes come and they lay their eggs and they don't escape or something like that. They check in but they don't check out.
Seems very funny. If it's upside down, how are they going to know water's in it?
I think I sent it to you, but I have to read it. It's been posted quite often, and it is a non-toxic way of trapping mosquitoes outdoors because, everybody knows mosquitoes carry malaria, West Nile virus.
They can carry a lot of stuff. They are vectors for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, because they transfer infection from blood.
Ooh.
From their victims, Anyway, that's enough on pest control.
Like clockwork. They're coming back after 17 years.
The cicadas.
Cicadas. The big, noisy bugs that climb out of the earth about every decade and a half to make everyone's life more exciting.
So they should call them Rip Van Winkle bugs, being that they sleep so long.
Experts tell Gannett News Service that the bugs live underground and feed off fluid that gathers near the roots of plants. Then they emerge from the soil when its temperature reaches 64 degrees.
Are they sure it's 64? And it's not 63 or 65?
They are largely harmless, but their sheer numbers can cause headaches.
Oh, they're very loud.
Some areas could see as many as 1 billion of the cicadas per square mile.
They're back. They're back.
They have arrived, baby.
Yeah, they are quite noisy, and they do like hot summers. Just like lightning bugs do.
Oh, baby, hot summers.
Hot fun in the summertime. Remember that? Da, 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 da.
NASA is planning for a robotic spaceship to lasso a small asteroid and park it near the moon for astronauts to explore.
How the hell are they gonna pull an asteroid with a spacecraft?
The ship would capture the 500-ton, 25-foot asteroid in 2019. Then, using an Orion space capsule, a crew of about 4 astronauts would nuzzle up next to the rock in 2021.
I think you should be the captain of this spacecraft.
For spacewalking exploration.
And you could play 3-dimensional chess aboard.
This reminds me of Bruce, whatchamacallit's movie Armageddon.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
Armageddon. He sacrificed himself to destroy.
Where they go on to try to blow up the asteroid, which is heading for Earth.
Yep. Doomsday asteroid.
Senator Bill Nelson, Democrat of Florida, said the plan would speed up by 4 years the existing mission to land astronauts on an asteroid by bringing the space rock closer to Earth. Nelson, who is chairman of the Senate Science and Space Subcommittee, said Friday that President Obama is putting away $100 million in planning money for the accelerated asteroid mission in the 2014 budget. The money would be used to find the right small asteroid. This would be the first time ever humanity has manipulated a space object in such grand scale like what it does on Earth. Last year, the Keck Institute for Space Studies proposed a similar mission for NASA with a price tag of $2.6 billion.
Why don't they spend that money on trying to tap into wormholes and parallel universes and to speed up travel?
They cannot get to any wormhole.
They don't have that technology yet, right?
Correct. There is no cost estimate for the space agency's version. There are thousands of asteroids, about 20 feet. Finding the right one that comes by the Earth at the right time to be captured will not be easy. Once a suitable rock is found, it would be captured by the space equivalent of a baggie with a drawstring. You bag it, you attach the solar propulsion module to de-spin it, and bring it back to where you want it.
Solar propulsion, isn't that how this, like the unmanned probes get to the other planets for photography and such? I think
Probably,
it's like,
yes.
it's like there's like a solar sail.
But this is just to slow it
They
down
call it a solar sail.
so they can manipulate it.
Okay.
Because it will be going, pretty fast. It's on a fast lane, man.
I think they should seek help from the Gorns.
You know what they say?
What?
A body in motion tends to stay in motion until acted upon by another object.
The body at rest stays at rest.
Stays at rest.
Which reminds me of the Republican Congress.
They're always at rest.
Yeah. Always on vacation.
A 25-foot asteroid is no threat to Earth
On the dole, by the way. On vacation on the dole.
because it would burn up if it inadvertently entered the atmosphere.
Oh, gosh. All right.
These types of asteroids are closer to Earth, not in the main asteroid belt between Jupiter and Mars. They're less than 10 million miles away. Okay?
Wow.
Big stuff brewing, baby. Big
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, without a doubt.
Big stuff.
Without a doubt.
Okay?
Think we should get a puppet?
Wait, puppet?
A wooden puppet? A puppet? But you got to be good at ventriloquism. I don't know if I can do it. See? Hello,
I am no longer good at ventriloquism.
Anything. Hello, Dr. Bill. No, I can't see. My lips are moving. Do we have a good one? One more?
Possibly.
I hope it's not a light subject.
Josephine Buriesi already reads food labels and tries to avoid ingredients she can't pronounce.
She's smart, even though I never liked the name Josephine. But as Josephine sounds like she's wise. Continue.
But what about GMOs?
That's right.
Genetically modified organisms. The Saddlebrook resident asked, what info has to be revealed to the consumer? Unfortunately, not much.
Because they're not held accountable, these food companies, for telling the truth.
There is a continuing debate within the scientific community, the food industry, and consumer groups on the benefits and dangers of GMOs.
But they have to be honest by law with all the other ingredients. Why not genetically modified foods?
Because they have been called safe by the FDA.
The FDA, the agency, the federal agency that you average folk out there have your best interests at heart, and they care about your safety. USDA and the FDA.
And
think again. Think again.
Association.
What association?
The medical.
Oh, the medical association, the AMA. These are the people who put out physicians that become family practitioners, where people say, "Oh, I don't think I'm going to take that vitamin formula yet before I speak to my doctor. I got to speak to my doctor first.
He'll tell me to get Centrum.
He'll tell me to get Centrum. Let me do senior citizen. I'm an old, at my age, I don't want to take too many pills." And meanwhile,
he's taking 10.
When it comes to drugs, the woman's got a funnel in her mouth.
Yeah, right.
Right. Oh, I don't want to. I think I have to ask my doctor if I can take it. And then she goes to her doctor and she says, "My doctor recommended Centrum Silver because I'm a senior citizen and I need to take silver." Let me tell you something. You ever read the ingredients of a Centrum one a day? First of all, there's no such thing as a one a day that is adequate. You can't. Otherwise, you'll have a friggin' horse pill like this. You won't be able to swallow it. It's a drop in the bucket. It is way below the optimal level for vitamins and minerals. And forget about the recommended daily allowances. They're completely outdated. They're completely in the Stone Age. Let's continue.
With the Flintstone vitamins.
Oh yeah, the Flintstone, the chewables.
And the World Health Organization too. All believe that they
really?
are safe.
Now, the word world in the World Health Organization, does this actually include other countries?
I believe it's under the auspices of the United Nations who operates.
So
WHO.
there are people in other countries that are kind of like bought out by Big Pharma.
I don't know if they're bought out, but they just go with the official line.
Official.
Yeah.
And the official line is that GMOs are safe?
Correct.
Really?
Yeah.
And that kind of like gives Monsanto the green light.
Correct. And Mr. Obama gave him the green light, didn't he, the other day?
A Democrat.
Signing the piece of crap legislation?
Signing the Monsanto Protection Act.
Yeah.
Obama signed it, and these are Democrats that are supposed to feel your pain and be for the little guy when the people who voted for the Democrat.
Well, remember, these Democrat in name only, just as Mr. Clinton was. They are all corporatists.
Two-party system. All corporatists.
Correct? The big problem is that regulations on the whats and hows of disclosure vary widely, leaving consumers to guess.
Mm-hmm.
That's why consumers seeking to avoid GMOs applauded the recent announcement by Whole Foods Markets that it would require labeling of all genetically modified foods sold in the United States and Canada by 2018.
Oh, no rush. Huh? No rush, 2018.
And that puts pressure on competitors and marketers to follow suit as the demand for organic and minimally processed foods grows. While the debate over the safety of GMOs and genetically engineered foods goes on, they have become a part of our lives. The Center for Food Safety and Environmental Advocacy organization estimates
That upward of 75%
of processed foods on supermarket shelves, from soda to soup, crackers to condiments, contain genetically engineered ingredients.
Do you think that's why I've been seeing all these articles about the dangers of eating soy posted? Does it refer to all soy, or do you think it refers to genetically modified soy?
I think it refers to what is here, so let me read it.
Mm-hmm.
And that about 85% of corn, 91% of soybeans,
Mm-hmm.
and 88% of cotton
Okay.
in the United States are genetically modified.
And if they allowed hemp to be grown, that will probably be genetically modified also.
Yeah, but how much of the hemp would be considered food? Maybe just the oil.
Yeah, from the seeds.
So that's,
Yeah.
not a really big problem.
Hemp seeds as snacks.
This is corn.
Yeah, corn.
This is soybeans. These are things that everybody eats.
Food. Yeah, they're strictly for
You know?
food and fuel too. But hemp is more efficient for fuel, and for other things, textiles. Materials and.
In calling for full GMO transparency, Whole Foods said its new rules are to support the consumer's right to know. Yay!
Yes, the
Duh.
the consumer does have a right to know, and the consumer.
Thank you, Mr. Mackey.
And yeah, and the consumer should be able to decide what they want to put in their bodies.
But it also seems like a wise business decision, as more shoppers are seeking organic foods and avoiding additives.
Well, isn't it funny, the foods that do not have the additives are usually cost a fortune compared to the foods with the additives? Like, in other words, the word additive means you're adding something to something natural. You're adding. Doesn't it cost more money for a company to add things to a food?
No, especially when you're growing it.
What do they add to it? Pesticides, herbicides?
Or spike it if it's refined? They're spiking it with synthetic
What, inorganic irons?
B complex,
Cheap B complex vitamins?
cheap ass B complex or inorganic iron, pesticides.
Take out 26 vitamins and minerals and add back 4.
Well, it's enriched.
It's
The
already
flour's enriched.
it's already nutritious if it's whole grain. It already has the nutrients, so why take it out if you have to put back the synthetics? Doesn't make sense. United States doesn't make sense.
Last week, a blogger known as Food Babe
Yeah.
delivered more than 270,000 petition signatures to Kraft's headquarters demanding the company stop using artificial dyes in its popular macaroni and cheese.
They color it orange.
Is
You
that
know, in
what-
the box, the Kraft macaroni and
it's
cheese.
very orange.
Very orange.
So yeah, cheddar cheese.
But when you open the packet up and you spray the cheese, it's all yeah.
I mean, yellow cheddar cheese is not that orange. It is not a bright, Halloweeny, fluorescent. You know, it's just not that orange.
Similar concerns led to 3 bills in the Oregon legislature that would require that all GMOs be properly labeled and would prohibit the import and sale of genetically modified salmon. The key word is transparency. We count on having information on food labels so that we can make informed decisions for diets, allergies, religious requirements, or other reasons. And we expect for GMOs, we generally get it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, and except for GMOs, we generally get it. Even if the serving size is unrealistically small, and we really don't know what xanthan gum, propylene glycol, potassium sorbate, and dozens of other strange ingredients are, we can easily find out how many calories, what vitamins, how much sodium, how much fat are in a standard serving of every packaged food, thanks to a familiar chart on each can or box. But we can't tell what scientists have done in the lab to modify what Mother Nature created. That's why Whole Foods' decision to list that information on its labels is welcome. Even without full transparency, there is information about the absence of GMOs on some labels.
Okay.
Certified organic products are not allowed to contain any GMOs. That means that all ingredients in products labeled 100% organic, or made with organic ingredients, have no GMOs.
Your right to know. It's as simple as that. Food labeling, your right to know.
But the corporations are big shots, run the country, and they don't want to do that.
Because they know that if people saw the words genetically modified,
They won't buy them.
They won't buy it. Of course they won't buy it. It's like if you go to a car dealer, like there was a consumer segment on the local news, and the woman pretty much got ripped off. She bought a BMW from a used car dealer in the Bronx, New York, and it was a complete lemon, and they refused to give her a refund of her $2,000, her down payment, and it was like, I mean, you don't know what you're buying. You know, it's not like you buy from a new car dealer and you purchase a certified, previously owned car.
Yes, and there's this new company called Carfax,
Yeah.
which is supposed to give you a clean bill of health. And
Right.
guess what? They found out the other day that they don't.
So they're not. They didn't. Obviously, they acted like, oh gee, we didn't know this car. You know,
It was in a flood.
We could not did the engine light go on because we could not retrieve the code from the car's computer to find out what's wrong with it. Automotive technicians have to be able to retrieve the code. They can't lift the hood and find out the old-fashioned way what's wrong with the vehicle.
We have dumbed down mechanics today.
They can't.
Nobody knows what the hell they're doing.
No, they got to get the code.
That's good.
So they made excuses. Oh, we didn't know. Now, do you believe a car dealer when they say, "Oh, we had no idea"? So what I'm trying to say is, as a consumer, you have the right to know what you're buying and what you're putting inside of your body. And with the powers that be, the conservatives in charge, companies are deregulated, and they have the green light to lie to you and rip you off and price gouge you. And
to mess with your food.
mess with your food. I don't call it food. It's garbage. Look at these annoying commercials for Nutella. Nutella is showing mothers giving their children, spreading Nutella on their bread, It's a hazelnut. It's from Italy, I think. It's ground hazelnut, similar to peanut butter. Similar to peanut butter, but it's loaded with hydrogenated oil, trans fats, which is carcinogenic and creates a tremendous amount of free radicals in the body. It's very unhealthy for you, very.
Somebody
And sugar, by the way, on top of that, and sugar.
somebody in this area stole the whole truckload
Of Nutella.
of Nutella. Yeah.
Nutella. Same thing with Skippy and Peter Pan peanut butter. Hydrogenated oils and lots of sugar.
Oh, geez.
And possibly corn syrup too.
Like a good food, like peanut butter.
Now I get
They ruin
freshly ground peanut butter. I Whole Foods has a peanut butter grinding machine, which you do it yourself. And I think the dry roasted Virginia peanuts are like $2.49 a pound, and you choose the deli cup that you want, and all you do is you make your selection, you turn it on, and you know the sticker comes out with the SKU number with the product number after you weigh it. But you put it. It's kind of like walking up to an all-you-can-drink soda machine at Popeyes. You know, you put it underneath and you press the button with the cup, and it comes down. And of course, in this case, the peanut butter comes down in a swirl, and you have to, if you're smart, you jiggle every now and then. You jiggle the deli cup
so it goes all the way to the
so
bottom.
it goes all the way to the bottom, and there's no air spots. You fill up the whole container, and it comes out warm, and it's absolutely delicious, 100% natural, fresh ground peanut butter. That there is no reason to put sugar and hydrogenated oils in peanut butter. So what? You have to stir. Possibly you have to stir it up before
next
you
day.
put it in the refrigerator, because the peanut oil has a tendency to come to the top. But with the fresh ground machine peanut butter, it's sort of well mixed.
I used to eat that for my meal at night. Just peanut butter, not the other nuts involved like today.
Well, peanuts are very high quality vegan protein.
Because ShopRite, Pathmark
Yeah.
used to have that machine.
Plus, peanut oil is rich in monounsaturates, which is good for you, like other monounsaturates, and that's the story. You know, you don't need to spike Mother Nature with all this crap. I know Americans are addicted to sugar. That's why obesity is a nationwide problem in the United States, and you know, it's a country loaded with honey boo boos.